Welcome back, you beautiful people. There's more to riding your mountain bike all the time. You got to make sure your rig is running sweet, and you got to have the right skills to ride the trails that you want in comfort. So in this video, I'm going to give you 5 essential skills and tips that's going to help you out. First up, you want to make sure your drivetrain is in good working order, because there's nothing worse than that clicking, skipping, rough, squeaking sounded drivetrain when you're out on the trail in the mud or in the dry. Also, when you come to riding with your mates, it's a bit embarrassing as well. And a dirty drivetrain is one that's going to cost you a lot more money. Why? Because it's going to wear out a lot quicker. Now, there's 2 different types of lube. There's a wet lube for those muddy, wet conditions, like a winter's ride or a summer's ride in the rain. And there's a dry lube for those dry, dusty times that we all love. So make sure you pick the right lube for the conditions you're going to be riding. A few tips before you even put lube on that chain. Just make sure you give it a good wipe. Get rid of all that old grease, mud, dust, water, all of it. Make sure it's nice and dry and clean before adding that lubrication. Now, another tip is you got to start from the quick link on that chain. Why? Because then you know you've completely lubricated that chain. So you can go all the way around from quick link, all the way around back to the quick link. Give it a few more spins on the chain. Just make sure that lube sets into that chain before going out for a ride. Now, if you've added too much lubrication to that chain and it's dripping everywhere, just give it a nice soft wipe all the way around just to get rid of that excess fluid. Another wise tip is to lubricate the inside of your chain and not just on top. Why? Because this is the surface that's going to be touching everywhere. Your cassette, your front chain ring, and your little jockey wheels is going to lubricate everything. It's always good practice to carry a multi-tool in your pocket or in your bag when you go out for a ride, because what happens if something were to go wrong and you just need to tweak it a little bit? Now, these little suckers come in all shapes and sizes. You've got small, medium, large, and extra large. And it's always good to familiarize yourself with these tools, because without knowing what's going on with that tool, they're a bit pointless in your pocket. And also, you want to buy the correct tool for your bike, because you might have a bolt on there that's a little bit too big for this little sucker to deal with. Now, if you're out for a big ride and some mechanical failure, like a big one, like a catastrophic one, like your chain snaps or something breaks, the bigger the multi-tool, the more tools you get on it, just like these 2 right here. This will come with a chain breaker on it, as well as, if you were to remove this, you could change a spoke, you can tighten a spoke if it were to go wrong. And if the bigger you get, the more tools you will receive. So again, familiarizing yourself with these tools is key, because you need to know how these things work. And you need to know what's on there. Look at this guy. This one's called the Alien. He's beautiful. Familiarize myself with this little guy. This is the Ninja T8 Plus. So you got your T25, you got a little star, you got 4, 3, 2, 6, and 5 mil Allen keys. That's pretty good. Nifty little guy. The BUNNYHOP is one of the most basic skills in mountain biking, but definitely the most important one. You can use it to avoid obstacles, change line on the trail, and it's the base of jumping skills and learning how to do drops as well. Now, we've done a plethora of videos about how to use the BUNNYHOP, but here's a few tips in this video to help you out with the BUNNYHOP. Scoop your front wheel up first by pushing your weight down and forward before pulling back on the bars to get the wheel in the air. As the front wheel leaves the ground and reaches the highest point, move your hips forward and scoop the rear wheel up using your feet. The BUNNYHOP takes a lot of practice, but eventually you'll get it. You'll get bigger and bigger on the trail. But the low ones are also key for those rough sections on the trail where you can just unweight the bike a little bit to navigate your way through those rough sections. Riding in straight lines all the time is not much fun at all. It's boring. You'll find turns just like this one on every single mountain bike trail out there. There can be railed, there can be roosted, there can be shrouded. Now, we've done a number of videos going into great detail on how to perfect your cornering skill. But right now, here's a few tips on just to help you out a little bit. Try to do all your braking before you start the turn. Begin by looking at the apex of the turn and then ahead through the corner. As you reach the apex, keep your eyes up. Keep your weight low and lean the bike, not your body. You can drop your outside foot if the corner is flat or doesn't have much support. Our final skill to know is how to replace an inner tube or fix a puncture. Even if you're running a tubeless setup on your rig, you're going to get a puncture at some point, and you don't want to end your ride right there and then. Oh, what? I hate punctures. So here's a few tips on how to fix that problem. Step 1, remove your wheel. Step 2, remove one side of the tire from your rim with a tire lever or without. Step 3, if you're running an inner tube, unscrew the valve and remove the punctured inner tube. Check the inside of the tire to see whatever caused the puncture is still stuck in the tire. If you don't remove this, it may damage the new inner tube. If you're running tubeless, you might find that your tire's got a big slash in it or a gash and it won't seal. So you'll need to block the hole before inflating the new inner tube, otherwise it'll just bulge out on that weak spot in the tire. You can block this using a specific tire boot or an old energy bar wrapper or even a banknote. You just need something to cover up that gash in that tire, because if you don't, that inner tube's just going to pop out and you're going to puncture it again. Now it's time to insert that new inner tube of yours and then seat that tire back on and then pump it up and you'll be on your way. But if you are struggling with this little situation of how to fix a puncture, there's a link in the description down below. You can go over there and watch that. So there you have it, 5 skills, both mechanically and technique related, that we think are essential to us mountain bikers. If you think of any more, let us know in the comments down below. That'll help us all. And also, if this video helped you out, let us know as well. Give us a thumbs up, like, and we'll see you at the next one. I'm gonna go shred all of this at Windhill Bike Park. See ya.